Botox and facial fillers are becoming so popular among celebrities and in affluent areas that some people are forgetting what a natural woman's face actually looks like. And there was an article recently in Glamour magazine that was reporting on the rising rates of fillers and Botox among women in their mid-20s. And some of these women were quoted in the article as saying that their regular Botox treatments were kind of like a gym membership or flossing their teeth. They considered it part of their empowering self-care routine. Now, I've personally heard from many women who say that they are getting plastic surgery or Botox or fillers because it's their choice, because it makes them feel confident, it makes them feel good, and therefore it's empowering. But is that really the deeper truth? Like, a lot of people wore face masks because it made them feel good, feel safe. But was that really the deeper truth? Was it possible that they were harming themselves and validating a very dangerous lie? Is it possible that same dynamic is at play when it comes to Botox and facial fillers? I believe so. Let's take a look at the deeper truth, and here are 3 reasons to avoid Botox and fillers. First, these interventions are part of the transhuman agenda. I define transhumanism in a very spiritual and big picture way, which is it's the merging of the human body with artificial in ways that reduce our body's intuitive healing capacity, in ways that reduce our own spiritual self-connection. Now, the transhuman agenda is part of what the elites have planned for the Great Reset and the New World Order. It's discussed on the World Economic Forum's website, specifically in regards to what they call the 4th Industrial Revolution, which will, as they say, require a redefinition of what it means to be human. This raises the question, why are the elites and the technocrats pushing towards transhumanism? Because the less human a person is, the more they are divorced from their spiritual power, and the easier they are to enslave and control. Now, with other broader agendas to enslave humanity, this has to be rolled out gradually with the frog in the boiling pot of water analogy, you know? So the grooming towards transhumanism in our world has been very subtle and very effective. And one of those ways we're being groomed towards transhumanism is to accept plastic surgery and Botox because it is the convergence of our human body with something synthetic to create an appearance that would never be found in nature. Like a wrinkle-free face on a 6-year-old who has laughed and smiled and frowned her whole life, that's not going to be found in nature. A frozen face is not found in nature. Plastic surgery and approaches like Botox and fillers, these have nothing to do with the biological imperative to look young and fertile in order to attract a mate. A lot of people have that confused because these interventions intrinsically reduce our health and harm our fertility and our biological well-being. And the bigger piece that is at play here is what's called the mere exposure effect, where we learn to see something as attractive just because we're exposed to it over and over and over. We start to see it as familiar and then therefore safe, and so at a subconscious level, we become more attracted to it. It's a well-studied psychological phenomena, and also when it comes to attraction, we have to look at that, and the reason why the beauty standard changes so drastically, which is a sign that it's not rooted in biological truths. We also have to look at pheromones and hormones and spiritual connections and energetic dynamics and attractions. It's not just the simple picture of, oh, I have to match a beauty standard because my biology is impelling me to look younger or more fertile. Like, that argument falls apart under any degree of logic or scrutiny. And I talk about that in more detail in my book, Right Side Up, The Invisible Course That Break Free from Beauty Culture and Embrace Your Radiant Self. Second, Botox and fillers reduce emotional connectivity and subconscious communication. Communication doesn't just happen with words, it happens with body language and with what's called microexpressions. And these are the tiny flashes of emotion and the small musculature movements in our face that is so fast it's not picked up by our conscious mind, but it is registered on a subconscious level. Microexpressions particularly happen with these small muscles around our eyes and our eyebrows. Now, this is something that Stephen Porges, a neuroscientist, discusses in his polyvagal theory, which is a very complex and far-reaching theory of how humans subconsciously communicate with each other and make each other feel safe due to the state of our nervous system and the functioning of our vagus nerve. So I'm just going to uber simplify one part of this theory. The main idea here is that the vagus nerve is like the major wiring that connects your brain to your body, and it is activated when you're in a parasympathetic state of your nervous system. That's like the rest, digest, play, connect, mate mode of your nervous system, whereas the sympathetic state is the fight, flight, freeze, aggressive state. Now, when we are in a parasympathetic state, the vagus nerve triggers microexpressions and soft crinkling around the eyes, and this, at a subconscious level, triggers to the other person you're communicating with that you are in a safe and friendly and relaxed state. And so then they feel receptive. They start to feel relaxed and connected to you because their nervous system is telling them, look, you're safe with this person. This person has their vagus nerve activated. Okay, this is all happening at a level that is faster and deeper than your conscious mind. Now, is it possible that because Botox and fillers freeze these microexpressions and limit our facial emotions, that they're actually impeding those subconscious signals of safety and connectivity to another person? I think so. I'm putting some pieces together here, but I really believe this because I have found that when I am communicating with somebody who has a face that's frozen by fillers or Botox, I feel ungrounded. I feel unsettled and like part of me can't get a full read on what's happening. And that's really true because my nervous system is looking for those micro expressions in their face and it's not registering. So is it possible that through these interventions, we are actually sacrificing our ability to subconsciously and emotionally have a full spectrum of connection and communication with another person? Reason 3 is that a person's energy always speaks louder than their appearance. If a person is getting plastic surgery, Botox, or fillers because they feel insecure, because they don't feel good enough without it, because they feel like they need to compete with younger women or with other women, then that is all motivated by fear. The underlying motivation and energy there is fear. It's really interesting because when I see a woman who has her face that's been frozen by Botox, what I see at an energetic level very often is a woman who is frozen by her own fear. Right? So if we are making decisions from fear, that frequency is in our body. And the level that we are resonating at is what we are going to draw into our life. If we are resonating from fear, making decisions from fear, then we're going to draw in that energy of fear into our life. I am so grateful that I have role model women in their life. They're in their 50s, their 60s, one's even in her 80s. And they just never bought into the cultural lie that women need to look young in order to be happy and fulfilled and confident. They simply did not buy that idea. They don't operate within that idea, and therefore, that idea has no impact over their lives. And so they have aged naturally, they have aged gracefully, and they are so full of life force and creativity and sexuality and joy that emanates from them in a very magnetic way. And I get to see how people around them respond to their energy much more than they would respond to just their physical appearance. This has been so healing for me because I've had to do my own work around deprogramming the fear of aging. as a woman growing up in this culture, that has just been implanted in me. And one of the most powerful ways you can do that healing is look for that evidence of women who haven't bought that story and they are just living their best lives in their natural bodies. I promise you, if you look for that evidence, you will find it, and it is so beautiful. I'm also grateful for moments where I have looked at people who have the lines and the wrinkles on their faces. Their faces tell the story of their lives. And I have been so struck by the physical beauty of that, both on men and women, because when somebody has lived their life well, their life looks good on them. I don't know how else to explain this. Like, if you have lived a beautiful life, then your body, as it tells the story of that life, is going to be beautiful in a very deep sense of the word. Now, I don't think this is true if somebody has lived a life where they are filled with bitterness and resentment and victimization and self-pity. Then I think that actually shines out through their appearance, and it's kind of a turnoff. But the key here is understanding that your energy truly does speak louder than your appearance, and in fact, your energy actually determines your appearance. I wrote my book, The Invisible Corset, because I want to see a world where women are no longer at war with our bodies, where we know our bodies as our first and most enduring soulmates, and where we are living our best lives in partnership with these soulmates instead of trying to dominate and control them. So if you want to do that healing work, you can pick up The Invisible Corset. You can find this at invisiblecorset.com or all major booksellers. I'm also currently accepting clients into my Food Without Fear program. Now, this is for you if you specifically want to end the war around food and you are struggling with body dysmorphia. Maybe you've struggled with lifelong weight issues, yo-yo dieting, and you're ready to end that pattern and to have full freedom and ease and trust around food. In this program, we're going to do a lot of work around deprogramming beauty culture as well. Women, as they graduate this program, they come out with so much self-love, self-trust. Their magnetism is turned up, their radiance is turned up, and it just impacts their love life, their finances, their relationships, and it's really beautiful to see. So if you feel compelled to do that healing work around food and your body, I would love to support you in the Food Without Fear program. It's currently enrolling at early bird pricing. If you're watching this video the day I post it, you can go to foodwithoutfearprogram.com. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.